I discovered that my unhinged boyfriend has been secretly adding slugs to my food as an experiment on me, so I reported him to the authorities. I noticed he started acting a little strange around maybe a month and a half ago. He started putting fruit on the floor in the garden, and I thought it was a bit weird, but he said he was feeding the mice family that had nested in our shed, so I thought it was sweet and helped him do so. Anyway, he started being really nice to me around 2 weeks ago and was making me food, baking me cakes and stuff. I did notice sometimes I felt sick and dizzy after eating, and I just put it down to lack of sleep. Anyway, a friend of my partner's came into my work today and said he needed to speak to me when I was free. He told me that my partner has been collecting slugs from the garden on the fruit he has been putting out there and putting them in my food, blending them up. He even sent this friend of his pictures of a bag of slugs he had collected and the picture of blended slugs. I feel really sick to my stomach. I don't understand why he would do this. This is so out of character for him. I asked him why he was doing it, and he accused me of snooping through his messages and got so angry at me for not being able to take a joke. Update. I went to urgent care last night, early hours of the morning, and waited and was finally seen around 6-ish. I had some tests, and I have a high level of metaldehyde in my blood. I was kept in for monitoring, and I have some ulcers in my stomach. Originally thought it was stress, but they now said it could be because of the poisoning. I could have an infection of some kind as my temperature is high, but they haven't found anything that could be causing that yet. They have checked my heart, and it is fine. I am due to have heart surgery this year, though, but they're delaying it due to ulcers and infections, and the fact I keep getting sick, which is okay. I have an appointment to see my cardiologist on the 20th of April. I contacted the police, wrote a statement, and was asked some questions. Anyone who knows me in real life, please don't post my or my partner's name, as the police said it would destroy the investigation. My ex refused to say anything to the police or to me. However, he did say he would speak to his friend and only him. He then spoke to me and confessed to doing random experiments on me, tests, starting a few months after we moved in together. It started with spitting on my toast, and then a week later he replaced my propranolol with salt. I want to add he was my medication holder, as I have a history of suicide attempts, so he handled my meds and gave them to me, and that's when he thought it would be funny. He also admitted to these things, swapping my Linda McCartney vegetarian sausages with real meat. He also replaced my corn nuggets with his real ones. One of my pet giant African land snails went missing in summer, and I assumed it escaped and left the lid open on their box. Still, he said it had died, so he scraped it out and put it in my curry. I vaguely remember the day he did this, as he laughed whenever I went to eat the curry. I got really paranoid, so I put it in the kitchen and stormed off. He then brought it upstairs and told me to taste, and I realized he added loads of chili, and he said he was laughing because he put chili powder in and too much came out. Now I think he must have put the chili in to cover the fact he put my snail in there. He also said he rubbed my toothbrush on the toilet but then washed it, as he thought that was too far. I feel like this is all a dream. It just seems too dramatic to feel real. I'm unsure what is happening on the legal front. He says he didn't know why he did this, that he does love me truly, and that he felt compelled to do it, and that he really loves taking care of me, and he feels it's his purpose, and he didn't mean to cause serious harm. He promises he never did any of this to our animals. I just found a jar with 4 slugs under the sink that my partner must have forgotten about. I think they are dead so they can be old ones. I feel physically sick. Update 1. He was diagnosed with ASPD yesterday and admitted everything to me and how I was his way of looking normal to the outside world. He manipulated me by giving me everything I wanted: love, affection, and compliments. He began testing me emotionally at first with cheating to see how I would react, but I forgave him, and then began with food and stuff to see how long until I got sick. I am still baffled. He is a psychopath, and he gives ASPD sufferers a bad name. He knew I was vulnerable due to my mental and physical illnesses. He became my carer, but was torturing me at the same time, and I was unaware of any of this. He rescued me from an abusive situation, and then put me into a new one. That is how he works. I'm struggling to eat / fear of food, no appetite. Anyway, ever since I have struggled to eat, I moved into a ground floor flat, and sometimes I will find slugs around the house. I keep throwing food away because I don't know what the slugs have gone on, and I'm scared of getting sick. I can't cope or breathe right now. I have tried everything to stop slugs getting in: copper tape, salt, non-toxic pellets, but they still somehow find their way into my flat. I feel like nature is tormenting me. I have tried speaking to my doctor, but they won't really listen, and the doctor I see said it was a good thing as I was overweight anyway.